Everyone, we are YouTubing and it is a great Tuesday night. Welcome to you all. For all of you who suffered from burial, I want to say that I am glad you're still alive, even though you might have lost a few things. I am happy that we are still here after Miss Burial, and we feel lucky and blessed. The people who got damaged and who lost a few things, we want to send out some love to them and tell them to hold the faith. While you're watching this, can you like the video, please, and share it with a friend or a colleague or a family member, and leave a pithy comment. So this is our first live since burial. Chances are it might very well be the last live, well, my last live for the summer, because we got to take a break, and it's hot and it's tedious and place is miserable and you just can't find your footing because of this heat. The heat is terrible. Things that you used to do 3 or 4 things in the morning with an hour, now you have to just do one thing and then sit down and take a rest again, and it is just totally taking up all the time and taking up all of your energy and sucking everything out of you, and you don't know what to do. But it's good to see you all. I hope you're hearing me loud and clear. Tell me if you're hearing me, because this sound was good and correct. Good night, everyone. Good night, good night, good night. Good to see you all. Sound good? Everybody hearing good? Great. We'll talk about a few things tonight. And while we talk about it, please like the video. I said that already, didn't I? Yeah, I did. It is quite, well, it would be a normal thing not to consider that we're just going to sit here tonight and talk about things that are solely confined to Jamaica, because there are so many other things happening around the world. I want to hear from you if you're hearing the sound. Yeah, cool. So there are so many things happening around the world, and I mean, we can't just sit here and believe that what is happening to us is exclusive from what is happening to the world. It just doesn't work that way. We have to take that into consideration and deal with those things as well. Since we last spoke, we had a hurricane that did some damage in the rural areas of mostly in Jamaica, because Kingston was spared basically. Well, largely. There's still some people who experience some things. Beryl was so kind to Kingston that I personally was hoping that she'd have blown down some zinc fence in the community, but she never obliged. She just left them to stand in the same way, and so we all got that. So look at what happened Saturday last. There I was sitting there in front of the TV, taking in Al Sharpton had just finished his program. Breaking news: President Trump shot fired at former President Trump rally, and all kind of excitement, and the excitement took over the world completely for the entire Saturday, Sunday, and of course it continues in today, which is the beginning of the Republican National Convention down in Milwaukee. And so I want to just share a few thoughts very shortly, very pithy, short comments about the attempt on Trump's life. And I'll just tell you off the bat that my own view of it is that the Secret Service failed miserably. I can't even begin to fathom and think how a Secret Service that has a mantra about protecting the protectee and doing all of that. I can't wrap my head around it yet as to how that kind of security breakdown and failure could have taken place. And I talk about the young fellow who was of course a Republican and probably slightly disturbed because he was bullied in school, and there will be an argument, and over the days and the weeks and the months go forward, we'll find out more about him. There's at least the conspiracy theorists them out in full force about an inside job. We still don't know who killed President Kennedy. We don't know who killed his brother Bobby. We still don't know what went down with Martin Luther King, even though we know who killed him. I mean, we still don't know what's going on with all of them. There's still conspiracy theories about all of those assassinations. You know, the guy that shot Reagan, he did shoot Reagan because he wanted to impress a girl. This little young fellow went on a roof. When I tell you my mind can't handle it, I want you to believe what I tell you. Because the Secret Service is not only supposed to secure the perimeter in which the thing taking place, but them basically commandeer every building around the perimeter. And the man them fail completely to secure the outside perimeter. And that one failure is what leaves now the conspiracy theorists then to theorize and conspire in terms of what they think happened. And of course it's going to build up more momentum, and it's going to go on and on and on forever. Now, but there's some good news in all of that. We're glad Mr. Trump is fine. I am glad that he's fine. I am glad it never got to where this youth intended it to. I am glad that God stepped in and thwarted that bullet to go sideways instead of going directly. So I am glad that it just whispers, and I am so glad. I'm glad for that for a number of reasons. Because, I mean, I can't even begin to, as America cough, we catch cold. As them sneeze, all kind of nose knot upon we and the rest of the world. So, I mean, it is grateful for it. And of course, the pundits and the political geniuses, them and everybody have a thought to say about what they believe happened and what they believe could have been done and should have been done, and everybody in them coulda, woulda, shoulda, and everybody in them own bringing them own argument forward as to what they think that could happen. And in spite of the fact that I personally don't condone violence, and particular political violence, because there might not be much that I remember about the days when Jamaica had political violence, but I remember as a young girl when we have to hide out in the almond tree and the ackee tree, because manna come from so, manna come from so, and manna come from so, and the political things start, and everybody a fire shot, and we mama so go under the bed, and people also get burned down. So I remember some of that. So the political violence thing is not a good thing. Not a good thing. And while I am personally glad that former President Trump is good, and it's just in ears of this white bandit, and it is funny to say, I don't think Trump is happy with that white bandit on his ears, but you know, he's a man that like the whole glamour thing. He's very conscious about how he looks. He's conscious about everybody else look too. And I am. And while the world and the media and everybody else is caught up in the fact that we are glad that he's alive, we are glad that that young fellow failed, and we can't imagine why the police them who were told and called to their attention, young fellow climb up on the house top, and we don't get into all of that yet. The whole thing is going to flesh out in a matter of weeks and months and maybe even years before you hear the whole thing. The last thing we hear today is that the Iranians also have a plot to assassinate Trump. So a lot of things are going to come out of it all. And it is heartening. I am glad. I am glad nothing more happened. I'm totally glad that nothing more happened. And in spite of that, and we don't condone violence, it would do us all good to remember that in terms of the temperature, the high temperature of political violence in the United States of America, most of that is perpetrated by Mr. Trump himself. We can't escape that. We don't want to beat him up because them almost shoot off him ears, and we want to sorry for him and stay in our corner and grieve for him and pray for him and thank God for him. But in the same breath, we must not forget that when it comes to the perpetuation of political violence, he is the loudest voice in the US, starting from 2015, when I'm talking about lick him in the head, thump him down, I will get you a lawyer, get them shooting, even now, in the preparation of his campaign, him still have a group of people preparing some kind of militia thing, and them prepare themselves if them lose the election all over go on. So we're glad him all right, but we ought to realize and know and understand and keep talking about it, because democracy is fragile all around the world, and whatever democracy we have and think that it's not working, we better treat it good, because there are places in this world that wish them could have the kind of democracy that we have, you know. So Trump is a loudmouth, braggadocious man who inspired and blatantly outright call for violence against people and people of color and people of different beliefs and stuff like that. And while he does that, we're not condoning that this young fella tried to kill him, and we really don't want nobody to kill Mr. Trump. And so it don't work nothing to the Americans what we say. Of course, they will go through social media pages whenever you go to apply for a visa or renew your visa, and I'm going to find what you say and all of that. But courage, you know. Dissent, I think it was William Fulbright, who the Fulbright Scholarship was named after, who said that in a democracy, dissent is an act of faith. And so, you know, we have to turn down the violence temperature, but also remember the people who perpetuate this kind of violence. In planning to say this tonight, it also came back to me that here in Jamaica, our own fragile 62-year-old democracy, 63 almost, there was, when Mark Golding started out, he was perpetuating some kind of violence to a kind of inside political violence in some of his speeches and some of his utterances. For those of you who might remember him talk about, oh, them not gonna give up power so easy, you know. No, man, the boy, them not gonna give up power so easy. So we have to go take it to them. We have to go take it to them, and in, oh, a jungle me come from, in a jungle me represent, me a junglist. You know, and the man, them have my back, and junglists have my back. And I don't know, and I still don't know, although most time I like to believe that he know what I do. But I don't know if at that time when he must say it, him actually know what he was doing, because I don't think he studied the history of this country and how violence affects us in a political way, and how those few words could actually incite some stupid fool to take up a gun for do something when we want to do long time and use this as an excuse to do it. The words that the leaders use are important to our stability as a democracy all across the world. All democracy depends on that. It is the leaders, the people, the politicians who trying to hold power and always want power. Their words, their utterances are very, very important in terms of keeping the temperature down and how people react and behave in defending their political beliefs and the political party that they support. And so I hope that Mark Golding will take this and learn a lesson from this, because we don't want nobody to try to shoot him or lick him or not like that. But you cannot get up and just say things that come to your mind as a political leader. We can do it, you know, but you want to be a political leader, you don't do that. Talk about you're going to take it to them because we get wicked upon them, because them now going to leg up power so easy, and that just send the wrong message across the board. And so I want to bring that from the United States and place it right here in the middle of Jamaica, so that we can understand that we must hold our political leaders to account when it comes to the things that they say that people can be misconstrued as wanting to be violent or sending them supporters to go do something violent to somebody. Like Tony Hilton, when me I call up him name about him constituency, and him got link man and tell man to give me a page, them kind of thing that we are talking about. But tell man, but them to give me a page. Those are the things we're talking about, how the leaders of every nation, I'm talking about the US, Jamaica, everywhere, that you can't just get up and say what's on your mind. Something a boil you and you want to say it But do remember that you're a leader and you can't just get up and say it. Not no work that way, because people can take that for something else and go out and do something else with that. So I just want to say that regarding that. On the other hand, there's Mr. Biden, who for the last 2 weeks have been battling pushbacks and calls for his removal, and him should step aside, and him too old, and him a losing mind, and he had a bad debate performance. I watched that debate, and as it get the emails that was coming out from the Democratic Party and the Democratic groups that I am a part of, email and stuff. As it start, within 20 seconds, the whole thing start fall apart, and Mr. Biden did not perform so well. But with age comes certain things which you cannot control. I know that with age, and some of us want to say if we can just beat the clock and beat back the clock in terms of age, but we can't. It's a natural progression. That is how it's set up. So we can't, but we'll do the best we can, nourish our mind, our brain, and see how long we can survive and crawl through all of that. So Mr. Biden had a bad debate, and it's like somebody poke a hole in his dam, and it started to leak. And the Democratic Party has always been its worst enemy. That there's no doubt about that, because if they wanted to replace Mr. Biden, they should have been having that discussion 2 years ago about all of that. And so Mr. Biden was warning of that, and since then he has been out trying to assure everybody that him up to the task and him up to the job. And I like Joe Biden. And I said to somebody that I don't believe that they should remove Joe Biden. I don't think he should step away from it unless him feel him can win. And I have been watching 4 times Joe Biden run for president, you know. Joe Biden run for president from about 1988 or thereabout. Joe Biden run for president several times, maybe about 4 times. There was a time when he wasn't so old and slow. He was the youngest senator in the Senate when he became a senator at age 29. He was. And somebody said to me, I don't understand you. You don't want them not to remove Joe Biden, but you want the PNP to remove Mark. And I am so glad that that person who is a semi-riser brought that up, because I didn't share with him the difference between the two things, which I'm going to share with you tonight about that. There's a guy in the United States named Dr. Alan Lichtman. He has been successful in predicting election results for the last 10 elections in America. He has been very successful, and he used a key system, you know, like whether the incumbent is the incumbent in office, the economy, scandals. He used a certain key, about 15 keys he used to determine who's going to win the president. He was the first one in early 2016. He told us all that Donald Trump was going to beat Hillary Clinton. You know, I didn't want to believe it until him start break down the keys, but we still stay with Hillary and do a thing and all of that. And I feel totally that it is too late for the Democratic Party to change Mr. Biden. And yes, Mr. Biden old. Yes, him shaky. That's what being old is about. Shaky, slow, can't catch a breath sometimes. Probably sometime he might go for like when him do the NATO conference, maybe he might have on Pampas. We don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Biden still has his faculties about him. But one of the reasons why I support Mr. Biden, and I don't think they should remove him, and I think that because he has the overwhelming support of black people. And my reason to make the comparison, the difference between Mark Golding and Joe Biden is simple. Joe Biden is a decent man. That's one difference between him and Mark Golding. Joe Biden is a decent man. Joe Biden is a honest man. Joe Biden was Obama's two-term vice president, and he stepped away and allowed Hillary to run after Obama left. Republicans, the whole world, know Joe Biden and have Joe Biden as a decent guy. Would nobody have no bad word to say about Joe Biden? He's loved and respected, and that's one of my reasons, one main reason. And that's the main reason of most people I know in the US involved in politics in terms of their support for Biden. He's a decent guy. Mark Golding is the opposite. Joe Biden will do nothing to hurt his party and his country. Mark Golding is the opposite. But I do maintain that if it get bad and them say Biden, if Biden should slip again and do something terrible should happen, I don't think he should step aside as a candidate. Not only that, I think that the only way the Democrats would win without Biden is if him resign as president and them swearing Kamala Harris as president and give her the bully pulpit for the next 2 or 3 months going into the elections. And I think that's the only way the Democratic Party would even have a chance of winning if them don't want Biden. And yes, Biden down in the polls. Down in the polls in Nevada. I'm down in Nevada today. 6 points behind. Behind in Wisconsin. And behind in Pennsylvania. Those are 3 states in Canada. If you lose them states, them don't win the elections. And Michigan, of course. And that is just a fact of life. And so I think that one of the things that people constantly talk about Biden over the last couple of weeks also is that Biden is a fighter. And he fight best when he's down. So maybe the debate performance was bad, but maybe it was what they needed to wake him up. So for those of you abroad in the US and those who watch the channel from abroad who involved in the politics, I think that them should still stick to Mr. Biden. And I think that there's a great chance that he might actually win. And so that, just to touch on some fringe things international too. Macron in France barely survived this presidency because a group, the left-wing party, them came together and pushed back Marine Le Pen, the right-wing party in France. So him barely hanging on by a thread. And then Keir Starmer in Britain win the election. It was supposed to be a landslide. It's not really a landslide. Not really a landslide, because the kind of landslide that they said that they were going to get, they didn't get it. They got 2/3 of the people that vote them all got 1/3 of the vote, or something to that effect. I don't remember exactly how I look at the analysis. But I did the first video, you can look at it, part 1, that gives you some insight into the British elections. I don't follow British politics much, I just start to deal with it. So there is that. There is all of that to do with the international politics and all of that. And just to make sure everybody understand what I said, the idea that leaders can just get up and open their mouth and say something to it, just to get a whole parade and vevezula and clap and standing ovation for something that you say. Watch on the words. Watch on the words, because politics from the beginning have always been a systematic organization of hatred. And the leaders and the people who seeking power are the ones who plant this hatred and water this hatred and fertilize this hatred. And the people who hurt and and suffer from it most are the people who actually vote for these people. So we must keep in mind that we must hold our leaders them to account. If we hear them open them or rub them mouth like them want incite any kind of violence, we must hold them to account about it, and let us move forward in a way that would see us as people who understand that we live in our modern world. So Mr. Biden's calamity work out well for him because Mr. Trump attempted suicide. Now put his thing a little bit behind. Did an interview with Lester Holt yesterday. Yeah, we did an interview with Lester Holt yesterday. I'm going to talk to the black people in Nevada today. And Mr. Trump now in the halls of his convention, and everything looking good. And Mr. Trump have had a flood of good luck and good news. But it's politics; it turns on a dime in a minute. So the convention ends on Thursday, and the Democrats will have their show in August, and then we will see where the race stands. And at that time, and then we can take it from there. So there's that. I hope I provide a little bit of insight into that. I hope I didn't bore you all with anything about that. Now let me talk about briefly Dean Jackson Miller. And there's no need for me to go deep into Dean Jackson Miller because Jamaica Politics University started out really, really good. There's not more that I can add. But I just want to say 2 or 3 things about Dean Jackson Miller. I'm not going to disparage her. I'm not going to tell her that her mouth lean like my grandfather, old shoes. I'm not going to do that like Natalie. I'm not going to cuss her. But I want the Jamaican people to understand that these people who profess themselves to be journalists have this idea in their head that journalism is about picking a side. And I've always said that every journalist already pick a side. But in how you deliver the news and how you pretend to analyze that news, you are feeding the people that are listening to you and watching you, they are consuming what you are saying. And therefore, if you are not careful as a journalist, then one can get themselves in many, many trouble in terms of align yourself to one party or the other, align yourself to various people. All of the journalists in this country have already aligned themselves to various people and various parties and stuff. So when she came out and did that thing, when she said she was doing I don't know what is it she was doing. She coined it to be an analysis, but that is not how people do analysis. And I don't know if she's a lawyer or a journalist or what. But there are 2 professions for me that stands at the bottom of the professional ladder. 2 professions. And that is journalism and politics. When people find themselves in those 2 professions, it means that they're not good at nothing else. And their morals and them scruples are not that very high. And I don't say that with any disrespect to any journalist or any politician, because sometimes I pretend to be a politician too. Journalism, by and large, journalism is about listening, watching, reporting, and analyzing whatever it is that you are reporting. And so Dean Jackson Miller is found wanting in that respect, because journalists are supposed to be kind of witnesses to what's happening around us daily, and they are supposed to take that witnessing of that and hold power to account. Power, not the people, not the little man, because the people and the little man have never had power. And so journalism was coined from the beginning of journalism, where journalists holds power to account. But these journalists, a whole host of them in Jamaica, I'm not saying all of them, but people like Dean Jackson Miller don't understand that you must not suck up to power and bow and call yourself a journalist. You can't. The 2 things don't mesh. You and power, you as a journalist, and power mean that you're a part of that power structure and you have no business being a journalist, because journalism are supposed to witness what's happening and hold power to account. And you can't hold we to account because we have never had power. We have never had it. So journalism is supposed to be doing that. And if you don't know nothing, Dan Jackson Miller, go watch some things, man. Go watch. I'll give you one woman. Just one woman I'm going to give you. Go watch everything she has ever done in her entire life. And then come talk to me about it. Go and check out Christian Amanpour. And the Queen knighted Christian Amanpour. I think she's lady or something like that. But when it comes to journalism, Christian Amanpour, the late Barbara Walters, you know, I'm talking about women in journalism. The current women in journalism that I admire, Rachel Maddow, Carol Lunn, them people that around this girl from Washington Post, I don't remember her name. But I'm talking about people who report what's happening and hold power to account at all times. And on the side at all times of the people who are consuming what you are saying. And nobody now go to go ask you for beat up nobody, pin nobody. But the fact that you start that analysis by pouting all that Dayton Campbell is General Secretary of the People's National Party, he's a doctor, Alina Parmouth, he's a doctor, and General Secretary of the People's National Party, and Ray, real enough. Everything that you see that he is, that you think is important, which is not important, not because not one owner as journalist has ever said to him in an interview or talked to him in an interview. We know you have a case in the court, but you know some people have made some accusations about you. What do you have anything to say about these accusations? No, never asked him that. No. Don't talk to, you can't talk to people about journalism. No, never asked him that yet. No, the whole owner move towards protecting him and cover him. That's what you do. But we know you, Dan Jackson Miller, because you have spent your life in lawyering. For the very little lawyering that you have done, all of that was about defending rapists and men who molest them underage picnic. That's all Dan Jackson lawyering was about. So you have a history of that. So as I was saying, it does surprise me at how you went about this thing and call it up with you. You can't call up my name and tell you why that you're not there with me because I'm going to call up yours. As I said, I'm not going to call up my name because I'm going to call up any name you want to call up. So I'm not calling anybody calling up mine. It no matter what you're calling up with or in, you know. But you pretending to be a journalist, don't pretend to be a journalist because you don't know how to hold power to account, and journalism is about holding power to account. And you don't know that. And as bad as said to people as Cliff Hughes is, and he is bad, every now and then him shine a bit by holding power to account. Every now and then. But you, Dan Jackson Miller, and a few others of you, who don't know how to do that. Who don't know how to do that. I don't know no journalist in the United States who would have seen a story like this from 2021 and never sought to go find out things and interview people and talk to people and talk to the people involved. No. Ever call Michelle Stern and ask her nothing about it. How did you get involved in this? Why did he sue you? Why you were involved in the sue? Because the only person who gets sued is me. The only person is me. It's just me. Because I'm me accuse him of being a serial pedophile. Me not take back me talk about that. I will never take back me talk about that. No matter what the court do, no matter what Uno say, me not take back me talk. And the whole Uno know who him is and what him is. The whole Uno. But Uno protecting power. Uno not holding power to account. So you can't chat to me about journalism. Me am more journalist than Uno. Me, Natalie, Michelle, the way we analyze things, the way we go about our responsibilities. Yes, I will earn some money on YouTube and it will want bex about that bex. Neither here nor there. But we hold power to account. Every day, me get up in my life. I have been holding power to account from about 10 in my community. But no, you get up and I go up on YouTube channel and you decide that you're going to analyze the case and then behave as if we did something wrong. And you have never ever spoken to one of us. Never. You can't tell nobody about your journalist. You have never spoken to any one of us. I can imagine local news stations across the US, because apart from the cable news, you have local news people journalists who dig deep and go and talk to people and go in the communities. But when them see something big story like this, I want to sweep it under the rug to protect Dayton Campbell and Mark Golding and Peter Bunting. That's what UNO do, sweep it under UNO and all the agencies that claim that they protect children. Do all of gather together and support and protect the rapists, the man them where fuck up them look up underage picnic and stepdaughters. Yeah, all of them wanna gather around them like flies to shit, covering them, protecting them from the onslaught that certain people hold on to them, like me. Come in and start give them onslaught. As me find out about it, me give them onslaught. And you, Dean Jackson Miller, you can say that it's your favorite thing to do is to represent rapist, a man who has underage picnic. That's your thing. That's the only lawyering you that don't know more lawyering that you have ever done. So you can go out there and analyze as much as you're talking. I can talk about people talking about nasty comments on social media. Nasty comments on social media. What exactly them taught you in journalism school? If you actually went to journalism school, what did they teach you? Did they teach you about freedom of speech? Because I can say anything that I want on social media, any damn thing, anything, and everybody else can do the same. Can talk about anything that you want to talk. Should we talk about some things responsibly? Yes, we should. And I do talk about some things responsibly and take into consideration some things responsibly. But don't talk about nasty comments on social media like I don't want to shut down people's freedom of speech. I don't want people call Dayton Campbell pedophile. I don't want to talk about Mark Golding. I don't want to talk. Not everything is nasty comments on social media, because for job is not to hold power to account. For job is to protect power. That's all you do. Protect that power for yourself. Whatever position you want to look, whatever you looking, because maybe you're PMP, so them say you're PMP, so maybe you think Mark out to Prime Minister and give you work, so you make sure say you're in a Dayton Campbell corner, or maybe Dayton pay if you come out, come talk some things, because that's how them operate. Yeah, Dayton Campbell have at least 20 fake profiles on social media. At least 20 fake profiles on Facebook. I can't even begin to imagine. I just hear how much him have a whole heap on Twitter. Well, Twitter. And how much him have on Instagram. Because him use social media to stalk young girls. A long time I do that. So him have a whole host of fake page. Every now and then, him open something fake and come on my YouTube channel, come say something. And you don't know me, I'm a mystic, you know. I'm covered under the blood of Jesus. God bless me, you know. I tell you, God bless me with some insights, it's not funny. Because every time him says something on the page, somehow me know it's him. Somehow, the words that he use, and if I try to not use the regular words, but it's the words that he use and the way I'm coin them. I know him so well that as I see it, my only answer is this. Every time he posts something on my YouTube channel, I say, is that you, pedophile? Bam, him gone. Bam, him gone, you see him again. Every time he come on my YouTube channel and a fake profile and ask a question or put something on me thing and I go answer him and I say, hold on there, is that you, pedophile? Then it just disappear. No. You don't know where him has set on social media. Because him just keeping pages them, whatever pages him have with him name, and post up about God and quote Bible verse. Oh, but wicked can't quote Bible verse so good, you know. I pay wicked people quote Bible verse. When me hear them, them know the Bible from back to front. And wicked people, them know. Yeah. And you know, Dr. Dayton Campbell. Dr. Dayton Campbell, pedophile. I want to do all kinds of things to protect them. and want to try to shut down people like me, because I'm a doctor, but me a road scholar. I'm not a road scholar, but I'm a doctor, me a road scholar. That me way above him, way ahead of him. Him can't chat to me now the other week about nothing. Him can't go fix up people when them sick. And me can't do that too. I can't fix up people to when them sick. That depends on what the sickness is. You know? So that's all I have to say to Miss Diane Jackson Miller. And I make no guarantee, none at all, that this will be the end of it. Even though I said, that's all I'm going to say. But Diane Jackson Miller is a disgrace to the legal profession and a disgrace to journalism. And basically she's a pimp's ass and a liar and a social climber. And her history of defending rapists and child molesters, that history is well documented. And any day you open your mouth and say them to me again, you Miss Diane Jackson Miller, call my name again, whether it be right or wrong, as long as I breathe, me I come out of you. I mean, I itch when me I come out of you. Me I come out here and me I talk up. Because you can't stop me from talking because you're an idiot. You're like a pimp. You're the pimp. We don't know who appear, you know, and who no work for, and we are accusing of all kind of things because we don't hold power to account. We don't want to hold the people who don't have the power, and them people don't want to hold to account. Not the people that will have the power. Always the people who have the power. People will lock up a prison, people will be in jail for look things. The young people them will get raped off by the big man them. The big man them will sleep with the underage, pick them and try to quiet them down and got them here, go buy out them careless mama them, will sell out them picnic innocence to the big man them, and then in the journalistic profession, back them up and cover them and put a white shirt on them and put a hand around them and guard them. You, people like you and a Samba, yeah, she are one of them. And I try no share that too, because I don't know about what I'm about to say. The final thing I'm going to say about Diane Jackson Miller, I don't know. I have no proof, no facts or nothing. But psychologists and psychiatrists and all of the tryst and the gist them say that there is something about women like you, Diane Jackson Miller, who love to defend them kind of man there. There's something about women like you. Maybe you've had some kind of trauma, some childhood trauma, some big woman trauma, some young girl trauma. We don't know why, we feel like we must protect these men, protect them at all cost, because they are the pillar of society. And they are doctors and lawyers and general secretaries and leaders and on the protecting power. And once on the protecting power, you're not into journalism. You're into whoring and prostituting, because that's not journalism. That's prostitution and whoring, selling on the self to these people. So don't talk to me and don't call me damn name about nothing. Now when you're going to analyze again, try don't call me name, because I'm going to come out of you if you call me name. I am, somebody say you're married 4 times. Well, everybody married 4 times can't be good. Why would you backside marry? Well, I don't know. And I quite nobody who married 4 times. Maybe the first time never work, and the second time never work, and the third time never work, and the 4th time. Joy Reid, yes! Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, and Barbara Walters. Christian Amanpour, one of the greatest female journalists ever on this earth. Christian Amanpour. There is not a leader or a dictator that she has not sat down with and interviewed. The only person that Christian Amanpour did not get to interview, and that's because that person never gave interviews, is Queen Elizabeth II. And we're talking about professionalism and the defense of the people who don't have power against holding those who have the power. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me unless you have something worthwhile and good to say, because, when you're just not ready for prime time, you come chat all kind of crap about these things. We don't know nothing about. So, that's basically it. I need some water. That's it on she. Because I have always told Natalie and Michelle that I grew up in a way that my expectations from certain people in terms of doing the right thing, my expectations have been shattered more than once. I have been hurt more than once because of the expectations that I have had of people who I know should have been better and do better. And so, in this not late stage, but mid stage of my life, because I'm on my 4th life now, my last life before this one was 17th century. So I'm on my 4th life now, and I have learned that expectation is not the same thing like hope and faith. Hope is a good thing. Faith is a good thing. But expectations, not a good thing. Don't expect things from people, particularly people with power and influence. Don't expect them to do anything other than what is in their best interest and the interest of those who have the power. I have no expectation of them. Like I said, we file our appeal in the appeals court, but I have absolutely no expectation. None of Justice Brooks and his lawyers down in the appeal court. I have no expectation of them. They have already demonstrated to us that we are not to expect them to do better. We are not to expect them to be better. We are not to expect them to do anything other than keep their power and protect those who have the power and the power over them and with them. That's it. That's it. I don't wonder why there is voter apathy. I don't wonder why people don't trust people. I mean, I trust people, I have faith and trust in people, but I choose the people I have faith and trust in. And it's going to cause it out there pontificate and chat up on the mouth all the time about all kinds of things that don't have nothing to do with the body, but to your own self. So, from the beginning of me start doing live, I have always said that what John Lewis said, make trouble, cause trouble, good trouble, make good trouble, be good troublemakers. That is what it is. Should I say troublemakers, troublemakers, no, troublemakers. They could be good troublemakers. Make trouble, but good trouble. Stand up for what is right, what is just, what is decent, what is good, what is honest, what is true. Stand up for it no matter what. Because dissent in a democracy, dissent is an act of faith. And I will choose to dissent whenever I want. And that's it for that. So let's drink some more honey. On a rope in my labor right friend them for me, because them want to talk to know him. Me and them going down a little road, you know. All the labor rights them. On a rope them in. Share the live, please. I like a lot of comments coming in on the live. What is that now? Who is that? Norman Roberts. Very strange person. Okay. Well, yeah, we're glad Trump is good. When I open the labor rights, am I share the live? Go right ahead. Share the live. Rope in the labor right friends, labor right enemies, labor rights who consider themselves to be labor rights. Just rope them in because I them want to talk to right now. And as I said before, some of you might have missed it when I started, is that this is very well going to be my last live for the entire summer. You probably won't see me again until September. Unless there's something major. And you know, politics is unpredictable. So something major can happen. So why do I want to talk to my labor right friends tonight? Labor rights. Why do I want to talk to labor rights tonight? On social media, the labor right bloggers, some of whom don't blog regularly, but them come out and talk and stuff, tend to, every time somebody posts something that is in opposition to the government or in opposition to your prime minister, come out and start talk about the 18 years of PMP. That's it. So I posted the other day that Philip Paulwell is the best energy minister that Jamaica has ever seen. Now, because I'm up in arms about that, let me just repeat it for you. Philip Paulwell is the best energy minister Jamaica has ever seen. Now, you can always argue that point and make comparison with policies and how ministers have behaved with policies and towards the country and make a comparison. But no! When the go-to argument is the 18 years that PNP was in power. So I'm here tonight to help you to sort out them cobwebs there in our brain about this whole 18 years thing, which you don't need to, drop. It don't work. It don't work. That not where it work for you. PNP was in power for 18 straight years. How many years ago that was? Can somebody post that? Because we can't even add it up now. But if PNP was in power for 18 straight years, and then we lose power, and then we get back power in 2011, and we had it in 2016, Bruce had power, the Labour Rights had power in 2007 to 2011, then we lose it, and then we get it back in 2016. That's 8 and 4, 12. So we have had power for 12 years. Now let me enlighten the darkness about some things. We're close to an election, clearly. The election is going to be called, everybody kind of preparing themselves, sorry, and everybody up and down talk about the elections I will call. And minister and the leaders have put them people in place. Elections are about the future. Now listen up, Labour Rights. Elections are about the future. When you open your mouth, every striking thing that somebody criticizes the government about, and for the only defense is 18 years of PNP, and they only name PJ, and only name Portia. Who you think you're talking to? Because that argument only goes to who believe that already. Nobody else outside in the wider voting public not going to that argument, because most people, believe it or not, don't know what I talk about. What I talk about 18 years of PNP. You have to spell that out. You have to say what happened in the 18 years. What we did promise that we never deliver. What PJ did say that he never do. What Portia did say that she never do. What the 18 years entails, and why we think that voters need to know it. Most of the people that I'm talking to don't know what that is. They don't know what we're talking about. That is the past. That are the group, that are the young people that went out and voted for the PNP candidates in the local government election. Candidates whom they never even knew, but they went and voted for them. They voted against Brogard for those candidates. It was for them to show their dissatisfaction to Mr. Brogard about how dissatisfied they are. And I gather from the data that most of those people voted for Mr. Holness in 2016 and 2020. What were they protesting about? Because them don't know how not talk when they say 18 years of PNP. Because them just 25 and 30, even 35. They don't have a clue. We're not talking about that's 18 years of PNP. Because I would like the country to believe that 18 years of PNP did not do anything for this country. And I decided that I'm not going to research and prepare no list of things that PNP did for the during that 18 years. But one of these days I'm going to do it for you. But that is not the argument. That's not the only argument that nobody now listen to, nobody know not talk about. 18 years of PMP. Some say, Paul Well, best minister ever. Yeah, but what about the 18 years of PMP? Yeah, what about it? Yeah, what about it? What exactly about the 18 years of PMP that you are now countering my argument with? What? Which part? Because during those 18 years we get cell phone and electricity in a wider communities, and during those 18 years all those wonderful things happen under Philip Paulwell. So if you're going to argue with me about whether my argument is true or false, put forward your good argument and talk about where you talk about that 18 years, but to drop that 18 years to try to confuse the public, you're not doing yourselves any favor, because elections are about the future, not the past, and very little to do with the present. The present plays a role in terms of preparation for election, and the role that the present play is simple. Yes, voters have short memories. Believe me, voters have short memories. So all that them said is all this level the last year and the year before. Now that hurricane come, I'm so all this out there, fix things, and the communities, I'm bring water and all that, do all kind of things. I'm doing a whole piece of load of things. Whole heap of things in the labourers not doing a good job to advertise what I do. But I'm doing a whole host of things. And instead of talking about those things, we're talking about 18 years of PMP. We're cut it out. Because PMP did wonderful in those 18 years, and like every other government, we fail in some things. Don't forget that Mr. Olney said, if I'm going to make us sleep with the window, we do them open. Has that happened? I don't think so. Mr. Olney did say a lot of things which he has been able to live up to. Will voters remember some of those things? I am sure they will. Most of them will not. Will the PMP bring up some of those things? They very well might not, but never listen to them. Elections are about the future. And if your argument about every criticism about the government and your leader and the prime minister, if your only argument is to talk about the PNP 18 years in power, 18 straight years in power, it don't look good on you because it means you have nothing to say. It don't look good on you because it means that you can't sell whatever successes the government of the day has. So you're coming on social media to look a fight and think that it's going to beat back PNP when you talk about the 18 years. And of course, the current crop of PNP bloggers, them Mark Golden bloggers, them and the rest of them daft, them dumb, them dull, them stupid beyond understanding. Them can't argue with them because them don't know nothing about PNP either. They don't know nothing about those things. But I'm saying to you, the Labourites, that elections are about the future. And every politician around the world will tell you. There's two things. Mr. Biden went down to, where the hell he went to? Michigan. Friday night, I believe. Or Thursday night, what I met last week. And he did two things. I can't have to pay up close attention to Mr. Biden now since all of that excitement. I need to know how this election thing going to go. And he did two things. In the first instance, he spoke about what he did and what he has done for the last 3.5 years. That's it. First thing. In the second part now, he talk about what he intend to do, what he going to do again. And if you can't find that, I was stuck at 18.5 years or how much years we serve power, 24 years or thereabout. Then God down there on the supper. God don't know even if God can help you. If the PNP and the Mark Golden is in such a deep crap, because Mark Golden can't compete, he just cannot compete. He himself don't know nothing about the 18 years. And then full argument is about the 18 years. You can't sell an argument about the last 8 years. What did the last 8 years? Nothing. What are they? Everything bad happened to Jamaica in the PNP 18 years. What happened to the 4 years of Bruce? What happened to the last 8 years? Nothing good not happened then. That when we post and say Philip Powell is the best Minister of Energy we have ever had, and that is not up for debate. Undoubtedly, if it's even for the fact that I used to have a picture, and why it's not a good thing not to have the one phone that you need. People need to have phone to last them longer. When I used to go to Portland very regular, we have come upon that big stretch to go into Hector, that big stretch of road, clear road going into Hector's River. And the man I come down upon him donkey. Yeah. I come down upon the donkey. One phone upon the ears here, and one phone catch upon him waist. The farmer. The phone catch upon him waist, and one and upon him donkey lean down. Attack and a gallop was the most wonderful sight I've ever seen. The telecommunication industry modernized, enhanced under the leadership of Philip Powell. Now, talk about what we do for the last 8 years. Talk about that. It is annoying to me and aggravating to me, which is why I'm taking it up, that every time people post something about the government that you're not pleased about, you run that talk about 18 years, and it's not going to help you under no condition, because you can't even point out one thing within that 18 years. Not one. Because you self probably wasn't around those 18 years, you don't know nothing about the 18 years, you just take that up as a mantra. Yeah man, every time you come out, you talk about PNP 18 years. Is that the plan? Well, that are the plan? Are the plan that? Talk about PNP 18 years? I don't get it. Because if that is the plan, then Mark Golding can keep him British citizenship and be Prime Minister. That can't be the plan. How that can be the plan? Huh? I don't get to know. When I hear me post, when I see me post something about Philip Powell, no better come with some good argument. Because I'm going to come out here and I'm going to hold on to account with a full argument about PNP and 18 years. I want to stop that. Mr. Holness became Prime Minister in 2016. And he was out there making some grand promises and pronouncements to the Jamaican people. And I must admit that I don't even know half of the things that he said that he was going to do. But I do remember sleeping with the window and your door open, because that one is kind of unique. And one would remember that. That is not something that, you could, that never pass your head, you remember that. And I don't remember nothing else apart from that, about what all the promises that he made and all the things that he said he was going to do. But I can vouch for him that he has been a good member of Parliament in West Central St. Andrew. People might disagree, some people might disagree. In my view, if people disagree about him being a good member of Parliament, they are unreasonable. Very unreasonable. They would be unreasonable. As a PNP, it would be an unreasonable thing to say that he has not been a good member of Parliament, because he has. But if we're not going to go out there, we'll talk things about what PNP did. If that is an argument talking about the past, then that is a clear indication that maybe they do have nothing to sell the voters. And if talking about the past is the only argument that I have, I don't know if we actually can go out and talk to voters. It takes courage to talk to voters. it takes enormous courage to talk to voters. And maybe many of you don't know what that is. Because maybe it's just a slap on the back. What, you not going to vote? Come on, man. Yeah, man. Remember say, Ray and Tay. Those are not the voters that need convincing. The voters that need convincing are the ones who don't want you come promise them nothing. Them don't want you come tell them how you're going to build a house and fix them road and all of that. I mean, I'm doing a lesson in politics, ground politics, because one of the gifts that God blessed me with, me know to talk to voters, know to talk to people, me know to convince voters to vote the way I want them to vote. I'm an expert at that. I'm an expert at many things, but that, I'm an expert. I can be told that A, B, and C supported John, and I need A, B, and C to support my candidate. I just tell the person, don't worry, I'm soon going to talk to them. When time I leave, A, B, and C firmly with me. And that is about promise or buyout. That is about conversation. That is about making them see my vision, letting them believe what I believe, and let them believe that what I believe is right for them. And that, ladies and gentlemen, requires courage. It requires conviction. It requires truth. That is artistic. That requires a whole heap of talent. Because voters can see through you. And they know when you're not telling them the truth. So whole heap of argument about 18 years of PMP. That's not going to fly nobody. And if that is the way on the plan, and going out there to talk to voters, then Mark Wallen can keep him British citizenship and be Prime Minister. Because clearly, you're not ready. If you still talk about the PMP 18 years. You're not ready. And here I was thinking that the only set of people that are not ready to take over this country is Mark Golan and crew. Yeah, I am thinking that Mark Golan and crew are ready to take over this country. And you out there talk about PMP 18 years. And Beryl came, and the Prime Minister is in him element. Can't find him. I was about 3 days now, I send him a text and can't get back no message from him. My MP. Send him a text message and now let me get back a response within, minutes, maybe a couple hours. But him busy out the road, all over the place, building things and delivering things to community. And the hurricane came, and most governments would see this as an opportunity. Now we have had hurricanes in the PMP when PMP was in government, and it never helped us much. Can't recall one where it actually helped us much. People don't need for you to come tell them some lie and promise them things. People need for you to sell them on your convictions and your belief. Them need for you to have the courage to tell them the truth. So the PM out there doing him little thing, trying to reassure the country that him have it under control and him doing this and him doing that. The JLP MPs them out there delivering whatever they can to communities that they represent. And all of that is a little bit of courage on their part to go out there and face the people and explain to the people what has happened for the last 8 years and where things are and why they should stay with them. And I keep using the word courage because I've always said to you that courage is the greatest of all human qualities. Courage is the greatest of all human qualities. It is the quality that sets the rest. Courage first, faith, hope. But courage comes with a set of belief system that if you don't have those, you can't convince somebody about nothing. Your own belief system. So where I say, you're gonna vote for Tom? Tell me why you're voting for Tom. Because if I was in your position, this is me talking to a voter. Why you gonna vote for Tom? And you listen to them tell you why. And I said, boy, well, I understand what you say, but if I was in your position and I have a vote for, and I have a choose to vote between him and Jane, I'm going to go with Jane. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to go with Jane and why not Tom. I'm going to point out all of Tom's bad qualities and him terrible taste in clothes and how him look good. Not that. I'm not just saying that. And you're going to convince a voter. You're going to convince a voter based on your own belief system. It's the only way it will work. This is not the same thing like it was 8 years ago or 10 years ago. This is not in the same thing as it was in 2020. This is a different ball game and a different playing field. Politics changes every day. Because the determination of how the politics is determined by the people who will vote. So whatever you believe is the problem. You might just buck up on them and tell you, no, that's not it. No, that's not it, that man. Let me tell you why it. Go ahead. Talk about that. So the PM out there doing things, delivering some services, trying to catch up on some promises that he made and he never keep them or try to keep them now. And him out there do that. And some people from St. Anne said to me, PMP people from St. Anne said to me, you know, so I hold this come here. It's a lie. So, what are they? Even though it's a PMP era. But then I remember now that the JLP won all the council seats in St. Anne, except Lisa and her 4 seats. And 1 seat, I believe, in Southwest St. Anne. The GLP won every council seat in St. Anne, except Lisa and her 4, and I think 1 in Southwest St. Anne. All of them. So the GLP won basically the whole of St. Anne. Them couldn't talk to Lisa Anna. And Lisa Anna would not seat them. And the 4 council them win, and Lisa Anna would not seat them. And if any of them open them out in the end, them win them seat, them going to incur morale. And them no want that. But so the PMP people them say, all this come up here. But put them same bill. Something bill up before water, something or something. So I say you talk him, yeah man, where do we talk, you know? And you know, say him not bad. Him not bad, you know. Yeah man, him talk too, we had him laugh and talk. I know we are PMP. Yeah, you know, him not bad. I'm afraid to ask. I'm afraid to say to her, I mean, him not bad mean that you go vote for the JLP candidate or what? What that mean? Me don't want to ask. Maybe next time. So I say all this out there doing things. And only on social media talk about PMP 18 years. And while Mr. Owen is out there doing things, the British white man that runs the PNP, Mark Jefferson Golding, my father, I'm my father's son, and I'm my father, and I am my father, and I am my father's son. Him, that one day. Him a run up and down all over the place. Visiting places. Every minute you see him somewhere. I watch people and nail something. He ma walk there, so. He ma walk over there, so. He ma walk down there, so. He up on one hill. He just a walk like them set him for walk. So while him is not the deputy prime minister, him is not the prime minister, And him now walk with nothing give nobody. He must have walk with him too long and me never see nothing said all my life. The leader of the PNP a walk up and down like him an insurance agent assess the situation. Big insurance agent. They look like a senior agent. Look like a junior insurance agent that look work. And assess the damages to carry into the bosses. I must that. I couldn't come up with nothing else. We have to ask the question, what are they? Am I insurance agent? The man walk up and down and assessing. And actually telling people, say him assessing. I am assessing the damage. Why? Why? Why are you assessing the damage? You are prime minister? You have money to help people? And you go there too long and walk up and down when a comrade call me and tell me, you know, say, Mark up here. I say, well, I'm tell me, now call the place. So you must assess, him walk and he must assess. She said, I'm up here assess. So I said that back, so why? Mr. Ross insurance agent, we up there assess. Because I'm an insurance agent, me no walk up and survey damage and assess. Unless you're prime minister, you come with the money. And you overstuff them in the car and the truck with stuff. The man will walk up and down. Not even one little envelope in his hand. After Hurricane, when we're up and down with Portia and Peter Phillips, and we're up and down when the PNP presidential election in 2007, there was a hurricane during that period, I don't remember which one. And we're all over the place with Omar. And the bridge of St. Margaret's be a block off and we couldn't go that way. So we have to take it through St. Thomas to go Port Antonio to go meet up with some people. Yeah, we have a meet with people after hurricane. You don't go with the too damn long hand. What's wrong with you? Why would you be going out assessing damage with a too long hand? Not even 1 pound of rice. 2 tin of mackerel, 1 case of water, walk with a case of water, the man a nail up him whole zinc place. You start there like your insurance adjuster. What do you call him? Loss adjuster. Are you a loss adjuster? Are you an insurance agent? For such a core one place, you start up and move off the man's fist and the man a nail. You then take a piece of board, borrow the hammer, nail something for him, give him something for drink. We're not going out with Peter Phillips and Portia without some old but small envelopes to help people when the kind of disaster live. Whether you're in government or not. What's wrong with you? I am so glad. I am so glad that Mark Golding has found his calling as an insurance agent, loss adjuster, and he's now, line up himself to go into that field because he is not prime minister, and that is what he's doing. And so, what can I say? Except that him looking like the buffoon that him usually is, and behaving as if him in charge of something when I'm not in charge of nothing. I sent out a video, and this I'm closing off shortly. I sent out a video talking about Mark, the last one, when he announced the renouncing. So he announced to the NEC that he's going to renounce his British citizenship. And I outlined mainly to the PNP people for them to understand what that entails. And I want them to listen to it and understand, because I do believe that he has no intention of renouncing that citizenship. He fight it too hard to now go renounce it. So, it's up to you. I want to believe or what don't want to believe what he does and what he does now. So, that's basically it that I have to say. I have one announcement now. Hold on, anybody have anything to say to me about anything? Internet, IC, Paul, youthful exuberance. Yeah, you can live in the past. You continue to live right there, so stay in that past. Stay in that 18 years loop, time loop. Stay right there. Don't move. Stay there. What crime thing on windows and doors open argument? Yeah, true. Them create some new thing. Um, Gill said the country would be pothole free by 2003. Yeah, well, politicians chat crap all the time. And PMP didn't do a striking thing in those 18 years. Well, keep on stay right there. I want to tell you that some of those programs Mr. Wellness have put in now. Some of those programs come from PMP. Programs PMP left there to implement, and then only get them and only go to them. So the young sons were protesting the propaganda about the illicit six. What's wrong with them? If it's not the illicit six, now it is the illicit 8. What's wrong with them? The risers and the laborites suffering from the same disease. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what the voters do with them. Because they're suffering from the same disease. The risers, they move from illicit 6 to illicit 8. And the laborites still talk about 18 years of PNP. God help Jamaica. Seriously. God help Jamaica. Yeah, the crime thing, they change and they turn it up a notch. And crime not that rampant in Jamaica. Again, the crime is not rampant. It's not as rampant as some people make it out to be. I agree. And for those abroad who love to talk about too much crime there in Jamaica, stay one of them. Kind of crime not there. Stay one of them. Don't leave one of them. We'll talk about FinSac some other time. We're not going to the everything left in the pipeline. PFP left a lot of things in the pipeline that Mr. Oldest utilized. And those things only use. And that is how the politics work. I could have post as much thing as you want about all of that. I'm going to just repeat to you that elections are about the future, not the past. Not to re-litigate the past, not to re-engage about the past. People want to talk about the now, and people want to talk about the future. And I have nothing to say about those two things, the now and the bridge, because the now is the bridge that you're setting up to say this is the future. This is the bridge you're on. That's the now. You're on this bridge, the now bridge. And you're talking now from this bridge how you're going to move forward in the future. And if we're not talking about that, we're not talking to voters. And I'm talking about the risers and the laborites all in one. Now, I don't know when Mr. Oldest intend and calling the elections that everybody's preparing themselves for. I don't know when, but it is my intention, and I've said this to you all before, and I'm going to now repeat this to you. It's the final thing I have to say. In order for Mark Golding to become Prime Minister of this country, in order for him to become Prime Minister, he need to win 32 seats. Because we don't elect Prime Ministers. Jamaicans don't vote for Prime Ministers. Jamaicans vote for members of Parliament. You're not going out there to vote for the Prime Minister. You're going out to vote for Andrew Holness. You're voting for Philip Palwell. You're voting for James Robertson. You're voting for Dr. Guy. You're voting for Natalie. You're voting for Lee. You vote for individuals. And when at the end of that day, election day, when the votes are counted, whoever have the most seats, which is 32 or more, will then meet as a parliamentary group, PNP or JLP, and from that group, they select the person who's going to be their Prime Minister. Now I'm telling you that's how it works, but we always go in thinking that we're voting for the leader of the party to be Prime Minister. You're not. Because St. Anne doesn't vote for Mr. Oldest. Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine does not vote for Mr. Hollis. They vote for their members of parliament. And it is the members of parliament who then get together and decide that Mr. Hollis should be their prime minister, their standard bearer in that end. And he projects himself as that because he's the leader of the party. I don't know what's wrong with the dog them tonight. Look like them having some issues. Big quarrel with them are going out there. And for Mark Golding to become prime minister, he must win 32 seats. And I believe that it is my duty and responsibility to make sure the Jamaican people understand that when you go to vote, you're not voting for the leader of the party. You're voting for the candidate for the parties that are presented to you. And my job, should Mark Golding actually go renounce his citizenship from Britain, and I told you already that he can always renounce it. He can renounce it, he can come back with the document to show that he renounced. He can even come back with the document to show that the Home Office stamped it and said, we have accepted your renouncing. Keep one thing in mind. Keep this one thing in mind. After that process, he has 6 months. 6 months. He has 6 months to send back a document to Britain to say, I have been accepted as a citizen of Jamaica, and so you can go ahead and strike me off the register as a British citizen. Now, if he does not return that document, and he has 6 months to do it, if he does not return that document, the British government, after that 6 months come to an end, will automatically reinstate his British citizenship without informing him. They will. So the most crucial period between that renouncing and him telling that him renounce and show the paper that him renounce is that 6 months. That is the trick. That 6 months. And I believe that I'm going to be biding in time and make that 6 months pass after I'm showing the paper saying renounce, and him do sending the paper to say, after you said that you have approved my application to renounce, because they will send him a declaration to say that we have received your application to renounce your citizenship. After reviewing this application, we are satisfied that the answers you provided as to why you are renouncing your citizenship to the kingdom is satisfactory, and we accept it, and so we accept it that you are renouncing, and you are renounced. Bam, stop. Him can come back and show you that. And you say, yeah, Mark renounce. Resistance can shut up their mouth now. That you have a set of people who say, every time nothing happen, them counter and say, yeah, the resistance, if you shut up their mouth now, brap, brap, brap. See, I elicit 8 now, out of 6 now, at 8. What resistance say? At 8 now. You're not alone going to talk about that foolishness. You hear me? You're not alone going to talk about illicit 8. Because you don't have an idea, you don't have a clue how to sound stupid and how to look ridiculous. But go ahead. We are all allowed to be stupid and ridiculous on social media and otherwise. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. It's your social media page. Talk anything you want. Post anything you want. That's just how it goes. So he can come back and he can show a paper. And all of the risers them can say, Mark renounce now. Yeah. Onward. Prime Minister. While him hang on to the paper, a declaration that he's supposed to sign and say, I have been accepted as a citizen of Jamaica, and I want him to know now, say, I don't want but that British thing now full-fledged Jamaican now. 6 months. 6 months. And some in the resistance was saying to me, you want to go alert them about that? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because Mark Golding is lying and deceptive, and he has already proven that he is, and nobody don't need no more proof that him lie and deceptive, and wanna force him to say him a gonna renounce, and from the moment that gonna force him to say, what is it you saying to me? From the moment that gonna force him to say him a gonna renounce, he has not been himself since then. Him look lame, him look tired, him look stressed, him look like he must suffer, him need some help when he need to make him see a therapist. Him not happy. He's very, very unhappy about forcing him to say him a gonna renounce. So I'm going to utilize every avenue available to him. So it's going to be interesting to see what he says to the NEC, the 2-day NEC, at the end of this month, and then going forward into the conference. Maybe him come to the conference and show the paper where them say, yeah, we accept your renouncing. We don't know. Though that should take a couple of weeks or so. But I know that him up to no good. And I know that him intend to deceive. And I know that he does not want to give it up. And I also can place a bet to say that he will not give it up. He will just tell them and show them a piece of paper to say him give it up. And then in 6 months' time, when he has not responded with his declaration to the British Home Office to say that I am now a full-fledged citizen of Jamaica and only can keep that British citizenship, and if he doesn't do that, then automatically his citizenship is still there, and there's not a damn thing they only can do about it. So, no, I said, because that don't include me. So that is that. So in order to ensure that he does not get those 32 seats, I am going to begin my series of telling the people of certain constituencies about certain people that you should not cast a vote for. I am a big believer in democracy. I believe that election belong to the people. Abraham Lincoln said that. Election belong to the people. It is their choice to make. And I do believe that. But I think the people also need some help, because sometimes democracy needs a little helping hand. And I could not sit down here all unconcerned and make gonna go out there go vote for people like Ryan Simpson and Lawrence Rowe and Dayton Campbell. I can't just sit here idle and make gonna go do that because people telling us how not PNP how we should do it. I'm going to take it on as my responsibility to make you understand why we shouldn't put these people in Parliament. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to start. And I'm not going to just do videos for YouTube. I'm also going to do the raw voice note, which I'm going to send out to the constituencies. I'm outlining to you what I'm going to do, so you can know, you can expect it, that I am going to tell you in a very sober and clinical way why you should not vote for these people and why you should move away from that argument that you are PNP, so you're going to vote for the PNP candidate, because that has never served you well, and you have not thrived and succeed and climb on that. And it's time that you come off of that and understand that you must vote for the interests of the families, of the children, of the communities, and do not go to foolishness in the name of the party that was in power for so many years and still never do nothing for you. And I pay people I'm talking about now. So I'm going, and that's the next stage of that. As I said in the beginning, this is, I said it already once, I was going to repeat again, this is my last live until September. But you will hear from me, starting with these videos about each constituency. And I will let you know which ones that I'm talking about, that you really should not vote for these people. Because people like Ryan Simpson, which there's a whole file on him, And I suspect Mark them know about him transgressions. I am almost sure that the Labourites them remove him from, I did for run against Lisa Anna, he was a Labourite, and him said the Labourites them remove him because he break the COVID protocol. That is not true. There's a deep file on him and some nastiness that he did. And we have considered our responsibility to talk about some of those things to make the voters of Northeast St. Anne, for example, know. And we're going to continue and let the voters of Eastern Westmoreland know why they can't vote for Dayton Campbell and him should not see the inside of King Charles III Parliament ever again. And all those people who conspired and joined together with Mark Golding to take down Peter Phillips and destroy the People's National Party and cause us to lose the 2020 elections. And we're going to tell you why Dr. Dawes, who have not yet faced the delegates of Southeast St. Catherine, who should not vote for him either. Yeah, man, I'm going to turn up the volume about here. So, that's what you should expect from me. Please like the video. Please share the live. Like the live. Share the live. I look forward to your many, many comments. I know some of them not so nice, but I know to answer. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for staying here and listening to what I have to say. Ranting all over the place about all kind of things. And God bless you all, okay? So, stay safe, everybody, and keep your children safe. Night, night. Let's get that off.